So we're going to turn on the left turn signal, place the vehicle in drive. And you're going to turn your wheel all the way before going forward. So turn it all the way. Keep turning. Look over your shoulder and you're going to make a U-turn. Good. And trust me, I'm good at angles. Because I'm a woman, so I know how to make it where you're good to go. Perfect. All right, we're going to straighten at the stop sign. We're going to make a left.
And he told me where we were going to turn today.
Okay, cool. Cool.
After we did neighborhood.
Cool.
You said left?
Yep, left at the stop sign. So you guys really don't have a driving school out that area?
No, not really. The only other one my mom heard of was in Austin, like the Austin driving school.
Oh,
She said this one looked better.
okay.
She's like, we're gonna just go with that.
That's what's up. Alright. I think I might have to open the location near that gas station by Central Valley. Oh, we're a big school.
We are.
Oh,
And we're still big, but we even went down a little bit
oh, you did?
because a new high school opened up.
What new high school?
Piper Ranch High School.
Oh, I didn't know that. It's near you?
Yes, near my neighborhood, but you had to be, it was just the younger grades that went there.
Oh, okay. Want to make a right at the stop sign? Sorry. And then we're going to stay to the left because we're going to make a left at the stoplight. We're opening up the location. I don't know if you know Steele High School.
Steele? Yeah.
Steele High School. We live in Cibolo, so. Go ahead and turn your signal on.
Oh, I thought I had it.
It's okay. I have no idea who that is, but he was staring, so figured out. All right. We're gonna get into the right lane. Good. Don't forget to do your shoulder when you change lanes. So signal, mirror, and then a quick look in your blind spot over your shoulder. When you take your test, they will count off points every time you don't look over your shoulder. Yeah. So I'm gonna get on my dad because that means he didn't teach you or go over it with you.
He did. I just forgot.
Oh, okay. Way to save him.
Yeah. Well, that and we were trying to get me better at whenever we're at a stop sign and you can't see all the way through. You pull up, come to a full stop, and then look again.
Because as adults, we stop, can't see, we edge up and go.
Yeah.
But they expect us to stop again, then do the looking.
Yeah, he says I'm adult driving.
He told me. He's like, she drives like an adult, and I'm okay with that. We just got to make sure she passes her test. Yeah, I have some siblings after, one student after you, and then the siblings, and they are hilarious. Meet real quick.
slow.
When you go over the railroad tracks, make sure you slow down, but don't stop.
Okay.
So what we today? Speed limit is 50 now. Making sure you still keep your following distance. Each day is going to be designed to get you prepared for the next day. So if for whatever reason you can't get up to the speed limit and maintain it because of anxiety, let me know and I can coach you through it. Other than that, as the speed limit goes up, try to get it up there and just talk to me and let me know. Because right now you're still at 40, so we need to get you up to 50. There you go. 45, you're doing good. Continue to see, search, evaluate, and execute. Give me 5 more. And if not, let me know why.
I just want to maintain the speed and not go over.
Yeah. And part of that is getting to the speed. There you go. Now try maintaining that. As we go up the hill, it's going to drop a little. And when we go down the hill, it's going to increase until you let off the accelerator more. There you go. You're doing good. Down the hill, so you let off the accelerator a little. You're doing great. There you go. You get the concept. What does this yellow sign tell us?
There's a stoplight ahead.
That's right. At the stoplight, we're going to be turning left. Good. Thank you. Look, we'll turn on this signal at a time.
Well, because I got in trouble for it yesterday.
Oh. That's turn me late over here.
Oh.
Good stop behind the line. There you go. Now, when the light changes, there's a couple of options. It's going to either be a solid green. If it's a solid green, we don't go. They go first,
straight.
yes. If it's a solid green arrow, we go. If it's a flashing arrow, we only go when.
And there's no cars coming.
Good job. And then we're looking for that yellow line on the other side. Nice and slow as you're coming around the corner. And then because it's a hill, you're going to need to push on the accelerator.
Okay. Is that?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yes, ma'am. It's okay, but increase your speed. the oldest, youngest, middle?
I used to be the youngest, but now I'm in the middle because my parents are divorced and then have little siblings because of that.
Okay, cool.
My brother, we actually said bye to him today because he's going off to college.
Aww. Yeah. Are you the only sibling at the school? Or you share with your siblings?
I used to be with my brother, but as of right now, I'm the only one.
Okay.
Because my little siblings are still in elementary, and then one's 1 year old. So.
Okay, cool. Now the yellow speed signs are just suggested speed limits. You can still go 40. I mean, you can still go 50, which is the regulatory speed limit.
Mm-hmm.
But if you feel like you can't maintain control, you can drop down to 40 is what they suggest. Once you come around this corner, you're going to see flashing yellow lights. It doesn't mean slow down and come to a stop. It just means proceed with caution. We're going to make a right at this light. Now, technically, what you're doing is illegal. I'm going to slow down. This isn't a turning lane, it's a shoulder. And so you would automatically fail the test for getting into a shoulder to change.
Okay.
Um, and I get it because we do that as adults. First, let me tell you, on C limits 45, we're officially on rural road. Rural roads have limited to no shoulder space, meaning no shoulder space over here. So if anything happens, we'll be getting over into rocks or grass. Rural roads are also going to be where we see more animals such as coyote, deer, armadillo. We've seen a skunk, cows, and horses. We have people that cycle, bicycle people, during the weekend, so keeping an eye out on them as well. You're also going to see a lot of windy roads. Sometimes you'll get rural roads that are raggedy, like they have holes and stuff because not no one is taking care of the road. It's a back road. Last but not least, you want to avoid these type of roads when it is raining because they flood.
Yeah.
So if they flood, you kind of stuck. But back to the shoulder. So TDOTs, which is Texas Department of Transportation,
Yeah.
they are the ones responsible for the pavement markings. Okay, so they do a survey of the roads and why and so on and so forth. We as adults get into the shoulder because it just makes sense because the light's there. We're trying to turn right, especially when it's a stoplight. But legally, when it's a solid white line, we are not to cross over it because we've committed to be in this lane.
Yes.
If there was dashes, it would let us know to get over.
Okay.
Now, the reason why is because right now the shoulder is designated for cars that are broken down. That's the main thing, okay? And so if we get into a habit of driving on the shoulder and then we accidentally hit someone, we didn't see them there, we hit them because their car's parked, because they got a flat tire, whatever the case may be, God forbid if they died, now we find ourselves in jail not thinking that we would ever, and so yeah, does it sound extreme? It does. Because like I said, as adults, we do it, you know, it just makes sense. So if we ever want to change a road to shoulder, we have to like submit paperwork, and then they have to come out and do surveys, research, um, and so we always have to remember that they have the roads made the way they want to make it for a reason. So don't forget when you're taking the test to keep an eye on roads like that where there's a shoulder and not to change in the shoulder because again, you would have had to stay in your lane, turn your signal and turn from your lane. And it does suck because you also then have to look in your shoulder and your mirror to make sure there isn't somebody on the shoulder that you're going to hit.
Yeah.
But overall, you turned perfectly. I have no complaints.
So you would just stay in your lane and make a little bit of a wider turn?
Not a wide turn, you'll just turn normal, but turn from your lane
Okay.
instead of turning from the shoulder. Additionally, and we'll cover this part also, um, when you're turning right, if you see that it's a bike lane, they expect you to look over your shoulder first before turning. Right now, if we're turning right, we don't do that. We just turn right. But if there's a bike lane, especially for the test, it's an automatic fail because you have to look over your shoulders to be sure there's no pedestrian, even though you can clearly see there wasn't. So, doing great. Today we're doing rural driving, basically limited to shoulder base, as you can see right here. She's doing really, really well. You're welcome. So you'll also see like sometimes people on their tractors. You know what a tractor is?
Yes,
Yeah.
I do. I
Like
go to Smith Valley.
oh yeah. Good point. Good point. So yeah, sometimes they'll be on tractors out here as well. So yeah.
There's roads to get to school a lot like this, very like narrow and windy.
Yep. So one of my students, Mia, she lived in Cotton Ridge, or she lives in Cotton Ridge, or whatever. And so she was one of my Smith Valley students that did their drives in the morning. But her parents purchased the 30-hour packet, so I did all 30 of her hours.
Wow.
So for 30 days, not I think we did a few weekends here and there, but I would pick her up at like 5 in the morning, so that it was dark, so she would get her dark time
Oh wow.
done. And then she'll do her dark nighttime driving, and sometimes I'll pick her up at 6, and you know, because that 30 log has certain things to accomplish.
Yeah.
And so we'll do parking and all that stuff. So, and then she'll drop herself at work. To school. And then a few times after school, I would pick her up to and let her drive and then go to work. So we work with people's schedule, but I always tell parents that's the best way to knock out those 30 hours because you got to go to school.
We're gonna try to do that where I drive to school.
Yeah.
But
you'll get used to it. I will always, she will always park at the ROTC building area.
Yeah.
She was in ROTC. So we did every road. We would drive to school from 281, from starting off 20, was it not 22, 3009. And then Jake, he's the same way. Like I said, he goes to Smith Valley. He's on the basketball team. And we like to try to make sure our students drive in their area,
yeah,
so,
to get used to it.
Yeah. All right, so up ahead is going to be a stop sign. The stop sign is going to stop curve. So don't stop going straight. You want to stop at that curve and then look both ways.
So up at the top?
Yes. So you're going to turn just a tad bit, then stop. Here, stop. Look together. There you go. All right. Turn a little bit because they want.
And you don't have to creep but because
Yep.
people are flying.
Yep. People are flying. So this speed limit for here is 55, but it's only going to be like this for a little bit, and then we're going to be turning onto the other rural road, which is my favorite one because it's like a roller coaster where you go up and down and round and round and round, and there's a cliff.
Lovely.
Yes. So whenever you hear those noises, which you probably already know, it just means that you're getting too far over to the shoulder. The reason why they have those divots is because they don't want you flying off the cliff. Relax your body a little bit. There you go. I can feel that you're tense. After we pass this green, the destination sign that's on the right, turn on your right turn signal. You see where the stop sign is backwards?
Yes.
That's the road we're going to be turning on. You want to slow down enough to maintain control to be in your lane. Slow down more, and more, and more, and more, and more, and more. So when you turn, you should be able to turn smoothly over here. And it all is just controlling how much you slow down. All right. So what's the speed limit?
35.
All right. The next sign, I want you to tell me what it means and what it says.
Curving road. Next 3 miles. So
The next
2
3
miles
miles
is curving.
It's going to be a windy road. Yes, ma'am. So this road does not have any pavement markings, which means you want to stay to the right because other vehicles will be staying which is to the left of us. This is the road where we have seen more animals because, as you can see, there's no homes out here, and if they are homes, they're like farm-like homes further away. So this is where we see the skunk and the armadillo come out.
Don't want to hit them.
Yeah, I know. Every student says, I don't want to hit the animals. You don't have to. You can just stop. So these are the kind of roads you definitely want to pay attention to when it comes to turning the warning signs, okay, those yellow signs. If it says that it's going to make a sharp turn and go 15, definitely go 15, even if you feel like you got it. Because it's saying that they did all this test and they're saying 15 will be a speed where you will not swerve off the road. I also wouldn't drive as a new driver rural roads when it's dark because there's absolutely no street lights out here. It's kind of scary. Good, you're doing great. How you feel?
Okay. These are a little less anxiety ridden for me because there's not a lot of other cars,
Yeah.
which is what makes me anxious,
Yeah,
like highways and stuff.
I can understand that. So one of the things I tell my students who have anxiety, I have anxiety, I have PTSD from the military, severe, but I've learned coping mechanisms. And one thing I tell my students in the vehicles are, this is your bubble, okay? No one can make you do anything outside of your bubbles. No one can bully you or anything. So when you slow your mind and take deep breaths, every now and then I'm going to say, take a deep breath in, blow it out. Everything will start to slow down. When we get to the highway, I'm going to make it to the point so much in your mind, everything slows down. And you're going to be like, whoa, this is crazy. But that's it. When you think that this is my bubble, so when you're driving, when we do suburban roads tomorrow, I'm going to teach you how to keep your following distance no matter what. It's going to look crazy because we're going to be this big freaking gap. But when they brake, you brake. There's still that space. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
so we'll learn them. We're gonna learn these skills. You're welcome. All right, so this is going to be our first of 3 challenges that I want to see you pass. Okay? Make sure you read that sign as we're passing it and follow what it says.
15 miles.
Yep, 15 miles, sharp turn to the left and then to the right. So that was the result. How did that feel? Little,
A little.
yep, because you were going 30 still. Now you're at 15. And tell me how this one feels.
A lot more
A
control.
lot more control. All right, you can get back up to 35. So yeah, it's very important when you see signs like that on these kind of roads to definitely drop it, um, so that you can maintain on the road. All right, take a deep breath in, blow it out. Great. I cannot breathe for the first time.
I heard that song the other day and it's been in my head.
I know. I don't know why it just randomly came in my head right now. I don't know why this feels like a since you've been gone type of mood right here, and the trees, and I don't know.
Gives me pitch perfect.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, yes. All right, what does this time say? It's okay.
13.1.
And it's based
Low
clearance.
clearance. Oh, is there going to be?
That's right. That's right. Overhead pass, and it's letting us know how tall it is. We have seen trucks get stuck over here.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and they have to let the air out. So here goes the second one. Whoop. Good. Good. And it feels like you're gonna go slow. You're probably like, God, this is slow, but it's slow for a reason.
Mhm.
Good. Good. Just like a roller coaster, we're about to go down. Good. Excellent. There you go. Good job. You passed all 3. Oh, I passed. You passed all 2. This is the last one coming up. All right, so let's just be your right turn signal. We're gonna turn right where that car or truck came out.
Mhm.
Here's the thing: you have to slow down completely, like slow down a lot, so that you can stay in your lane. Even more than this. There you go. Now start to turn. Stay in your lane. Turn, turn, turn. There you go. And then straighten it out as you're coming down. Perfect. Good, good. Because we don't ever want wide turns. And those are the cows that every now and then they're on the road. And
Cow
I'm
crossing.
like, dude, can you guys get off the road?
The grass is over there.
I know. I'm like, goodness. So yeah, slow and controlled is always better, especially on these kind of roads, because again, it's so tight that if a car was coming and you're flying into a lane, that's going to be an accident. But you did great. You've been doing great on all your terms. So with big vehicles like this, we want to maintain our distance from them. The rule of thumb is if you can't see their driver's side mirror, they can't see you. So that's giving them space. And then it helps us because we can't see anything that's going on, a light or nothing. So we keep our space. And then last but not least, these type of vehicles have rocks that project off of them, concrete, and shatter our windshield. So
This is a turn.
yes, ma'am, we're gonna make a right at the stop sign. It's the same type of stop sign where you're gonna curve and then stop. Good job. Way to keep your distance from that thing.
Whatever that is.
Whatever it is. Do exactly what they did. Turn. Good. Yeah, you can go. Good. Good. All right. Great. Do you do any extracurricular activities?
I'm in a medical program.
Oh, okay.
There's one that goes through our school.
What is it like? What does it entail?
Just a lot of hands-on stuff. Like we get to be certified CNA when we graduate. If we pass the test, but to get there, and then phlebotomy. We get to do those on each other, which is kind of fun.
Okay, cool. Do you like it?
I do.
Good. Good for you. Give him some space. He has all his hazards, which is he's telling us we can go around him. So whenever they have on their hazards, which are flashes like this,
Should I go?
you can go around. You sure can. He pulled off to the side of the road. Good. That's good. I did that in the military.
You did?
Yeah, I was an aerospace medical tech.
I think your dad was telling me about that.
Yeah, go figure. It's my dad. Yeah, I enjoyed that. I lived in Japan.
Wow.
Yeah. My kid, we got to draw blood on each other and each other's shots.
My teachers always say, like, when we start doing that on each other, you'll realize who is, gonna stick with it. People who don't,
can't do it.
get grossed out.
For me, it wasn't necessarily about getting gross out. The first time I had to poke someone,
Yeah.
it's the fact of I'm penetrating someone's skin, which I know it's gonna hurt. How do you do that? Like intentionally.
You know you're gonna hurt
You
someone.
know you're gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Like it took me, I want to say, because on the first time we go around, one person sits on the chair in front of the whole class, and the partners. And sometimes people just sit there forever, and sometimes people don't do it. And in the military, if you can't do it, you get washed out of that career.
Yeah.
It took me maybe I want to say 2:38, 2 minutes and 38, which is a long time to sit in front of the class like, okay.
But like my teachers always say, think of it as you. Like it doesn't hurt as bad when it's you,
Yeah.
but thinking that you're gonna do it to someone else is what gets everyone's
It's everybody's
nerves.
mind, yeah. Like, I don't want to hurt
You're
you.
intentionally poking someone with a needle,
Yeah.
which is scary. But
The speed limit's 45, sorry. Saw that big 18-wheeler fastly approaching. He'll keep his distance. And again, comfort. Do your breaths. Doing great. And it's lights for the school zone. It's not flashing, so you keep 45. But I'm proud of you for recognizing this as a school zone. there's a stop sign, we're going to make a right. We're not going to the stop sign. It's going to be a yield. I want you to treat the yield as a stop sign if you see vehicles coming. Usually on the busier roads, I make you treat it like a full stop sign so that you can gather your thoughts looking both ways. There's less cars out here, so you're able to look over your shoulder while you're going towards the yield sign.
So there's a stop sign and then a yield?
The stop sign is, the yield comes before the stop sign.
Okay.
Good, we're going right.
And then again, it's another turn and then stop.
But since this road isn't as busy, you can look and see if those cars are coming. You can go. Good. And that's just someone who needs a brakes check. At the stop sign, you're going to make a left. It's going to be a left lane right there. There you go. And it's a four-way stop sign. And whoever gets there first goes first.
Did I get there first?
Yeah, he's going to let you go. And then go ahead, because they have a stop sign, so you can go ahead. There you go. So whenever you see this four-way stop sign, everybody is stopping. But of course, there's nothing wrong with making sure they do. Just remember, the longer we wait in a four-way stop sign, other people are going to just cut.
Okay.
Because they're not going to wait. And we are back on the road that takes us back to the mall. Straight shot. Yes. Love that launches. They're like, Caitlin said, can she drive home today? I said, yes. I don't have to interrupt my beautiful video. Yeah, I'm definitely going to look out there. Smith and Valley, you are my sign from God to say, go open up a driving school out there. So, you guys don't have to travel so far. I mean, it doesn't help you, but how old are you?
17.
When you turn 18?
In June of next
Oh,
year.
yeah, we talked about this. Okay, so you'll be testing
Yes.
when you test with us. We'll have our license in November by the state of Texas. They're certifying us to be a DPS test site, which means we can get the road test.
Oh, wow.
Or you can go to them either way, you know, as long as you do your test. Good, way to stay in control. Good. think that's so cool that they have a program where you can get started in school.
Mhm. And I get to wear my scrubs on Thursdays.
Ooh. Do they let you wear any kind of scrubs, like
No,
colorful?
they're for school. Like they have the emblem of our school and stuff on
Oh,
them. But they're cute.
that's cool.
We got to pick out any like brand, but
Okay,
the same color.
cool. I like that. We're actually trying to push to get us into schools so that you guys will have driver education in school, kind of like maybe your mom had it back in the day. I know we had it back in my time back in Maryland.
You're from Maryland?
Um, no. So I was born in Oklahoma City, but I'm a military brat, and then I
Okay.
joined the military.
So is my mom.
Yeah. My home of record is Maryland. That's where my mom is. She's retired there. My stepdad, they own 7 driving schools there.
Oh wow.
Yeah. He did no type of stop. You saw that, right? He just rolled out. Good job. Good for you on paying attention. Who's picking you up?
My mom.
Okay. We're about 3 minutes away, Mom. As soon as I say that, watch it be a train.
Just kidding. 45 minutes. We'll be there in an hour.
Oh, goodness.
Those things are so annoying. They
Yeah.
come at the most inconvenient times.
Sure do.